Hello and a very warm welcome to the podcast where we always delve into the events and issues shaping our world. In today's episode, we're talking about the public unrest and riots taking place in the UK today, examining how these outbursts affect both the innocent and the guilty and the long-lasting consequences it leaves behind. Public unrest and riots are not new to our societies, from the bread riots of the 18th century France to modern day riots. But what triggers these eruptions? Often it's economic hardship, racial or social injustice, political oppression, and sometimes a single act of violence or injustice serves as a tipping point. When people feel unheard, marginalised or oppressed, public unrest can become a powerful, albeit chaotic, form of expression. While the causes can be understood, the effects are multifaceted and often deeply troubling. Riots, by their nature, blur the lines between the innocent and the guilty. The consequences are felt across society, often disproportionately impacting those least involved in the unrest, while making the poor poorer. The damage has to be fixed, and that costs money, which usually comes from the resources that affect the poor. Imagine a small business owner whose shop was looted and burned during the riot. They are neither a perpetrator nor necessarily a direct victim of the injustice that sparked the unrest. Yet their livelihood is destroyed, their dreams turn to ashes. Insurance may cover some losses, but the emotional and psychological toll can never be undone. These individuals are the silent casualties of public disorder, their stories often overshadowed by the broader narrative. Then there are the residents of the affected neighbourhoods. They wake up to a changed landscape, their streets littered with debris, their sense of security shattered. These scenes of chaos can be traumatic. The trauma experienced by communities during riots is profound. It disrupts the social fabric and can lead to long-term psychological issues such as anxiety, depression, and a sense of insecurity. On the other hand, what about those who participate in the riots? Some are driven by genuine anger and desperation, seeking justice in a world they feel is unfair, and believe this is the only way to be heard. Others may be opportunists, exploiting the chaos for personal gain. And then there are the instigators, individuals or groups with their own agendas, who fuel the fires of unrest for political or ideological reasons. For many involved in the riots, the consequences can be severe: arrests, injuries, and even deaths. The legal system often responds with a heavy hand, aiming to restore order and punish those deemed responsible. But this response can sometimes exacerbate the very issues that lead to the unrest in the first place, creating a cycle of tension and conflict. How did we get here? The ripple effects extend beyond the immediate aftermath. Economically, neighbourhoods affected by the riots can suffer for years. Businesses may be reluctant to invest in areas seen as unstable, leading to decreased economic opportunities and prolonged poverty. Socially, the division between communities can widen, fostering an environment of distrust and resentment. What can be done to mitigate the consequences of public unrest? Addressing the root causes is crucial. This means tackling economic inequality, ensuring justice and accountability, and creating avenues for peaceful and constructive expression of grievances. It's about building a society where everyone feels heard, valued, and protected. Public unrest and riots are a stark reminder of the fragility of social order and how ignored issues can drive people to the streets. The impact on the innocent, often overlooked, while the guilty face their own set of consequences, legal and moral. As a society, our challenge is to understand these dynamics, address the root causes, and find ways to heal and rebuild in the aftermath. I'm sure we can make ourselves heard in other ways. If we can come together to riot, we can come together to address issues in a more constructive and less destructive manner. After all, who do you think has to pay to fix the aftermath of rioting? We do. It's our communities that get wrecked. We are the ones who have to wake up to the chaos and carnage. And what example do you think we're setting for our children? Fear and division instead of unity in our communities. Why has it come to this? I have to thank you again for joining me on this exploration of a difficult but essential topic that I had to write this week. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay compassionate and stay safe. Be good to yourself and others, and smile regardless.